What's up, guys? Welcome back to Corey's Garage, brought to you by Reese Motorsports, your home for the Franken-7 project car. I just got finished up welding up my version 2.0 of the transmission crossmember. It's still a little warm, but this is it. So it's the original that I started with, which was 1/8 inch, but then it's got 3/16 duplicated and welded on top of it. So now we have about 3/8 to, I don't know, 1/2 inch in some spots of super duper solid steel transmission cross members. So one of the probably only, well, obviously I'm not the only one who's done this, but probably one of few, but Z32 to LS to FC transmission custom mount. So that's cool. I know it's not pretty. There's slag all over it. That's my Harbor Freight welder. And I'm still learning. Obviously, you never stop learning, but let's just say my welds look a whole lot better, are a hell of a lot stronger than they were, a year ago or 2 years ago, or however far back you want to go. So I'm impressed with it. I'm proud of it. I'm pleased with it. I'm excited to put it on the car. I want to clean it up, maybe paint it. I don't know. Might as well. I've got plenty of spray paint. So that took up most of the time in the garage tonight. I did get the engine mount bolts rethreaded. That took a little time. And then this took the most time just because, you don't want to just weld straight through on something. If you know anything about welding, especially something that has to be like a strong piece and hold up, you do a little section at a time. You do like 2-3 inches, then you move down 2-3 inches, and maybe you come back to the middle 2-3 inches, and then you fill everything in later. So I had to do that. So I had to take a couple of breaks and let it cool. Go have some ginger snaps. I literally had ginger snaps, and they were delicious. And come back to it. So should be set now. Should be solid. I'll probably have to, grind it down a little bit, trim it up, make it clean to fit underneath there, because the other one had a little room, but now it's all fat and bulgy on the side. So I might have to clean it up some just to make sure it works underneath the car, but it should be fine. It should be all right. I'm not worried about it. So I had some parts come in today. I did get my max speeding rod, the 24-way adjustable dampening coilovers in today. So I got my Chinese specials. Oh yes, there's no reason to tell you how much they were, but they were less than BC's, and I think I heard somewhere they're made in the same factory as Fortunato. I could be wrong, but they're supposed to be made by the same company that makes some of the big brands, and they're actually pretty decent quality from what I can tell. They're those ugly orange ones, but they are 24-way dampening adjustable. They got the pillow ball mounts on the front. They seem pretty solid. So for the price, okay, I'll tell you the price. They were $285 shipped, which normally I guess they're over $300. And because I was trying to do, like, eBay, you can actually bid on stuff sometimes. So I bidded a certain price. We bidded 3 times and they kept getting declined. So I was like, screw it, I'll just wait. I'll find something else. So they emailed me and said, hey, we want your business. If you can do $285, shipping included, the coilovers are yours. So I said, sure. Because I think I was bidding like $250 or something. And they're buy it now for $300. So anyways, I saved $15. Took like a week and a half to get here, but they have coilovers now. So that's cool. I am still waiting on the rear suspension mounts or bushings, solid bushings. So when those get in, I can finish up putting the rear together. But I think most everything else is here. Just a few little things I got. Like I got a shift knob just to go with the interior. Nothing crazy. I got some of that gold reflective, heat reflective tape. Excuse me. Then I'm gonna wrap the fuel line in close to where that collector is for the long tube, and then put it around whatever electronic stuff there might be. I don't know if I want to go crazy and put it on the intake manifold. My brother does that to his Corvette, and it's a little much. But if it works, if it does the job, then I guess whatever. But um, I got 2 rolls of like 30 feet, so I should be able to do like a lot of heat protection stuff. So I'll probably wrap like, the brake master cylinder and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to do the brake lines, but I want to keep the heat down as much as possible, and I want to keep this. Excuse me. I want to keep this whole car as simple and clean as possible. So after I get the engine in, I think that'll be the plan tomorrow. I'll put the engine and trans back in. I am still waiting on that shifter rod fork deal thing from Concept Z, and then then the shifter and all that stuff will be complete. I guess I probably could have got away with a short shifter, but honestly, I kind of like the feel of some of the stock shifters. I like to know that it's going into first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Sometimes those short ones, you can't really tell where it's at. Now, my brother's Corvette, I'll probably start making a lot more references to that because he got it back finally after, gosh, like 9 or 10 months of being without it. But yeah, the shifter in his car is awesome. It's I think it's an MTI shifter. It's pretty BA. Excuse my yawn. It's 2:30, so I got to be going to bed here soon. I'll wake up and do it some more tomorrow. Yeah, so not a whole lot to update on today. Just had to do a lot of running around. I found my intake manifold bolts at a local like fastener type company. So I was about to exhaust my options and go to the Chevy dealership in town and pay probably $50 for the intake manifold bolts. But again, getting back to the whole point of this build is to do the best I can for as cheap as I can. So long story short, person at O'Reilly Auto Parts told me about this fastener place in Hammond. So I went and checked them out, and $8 later, I have my 10 black, I don't know if they're hardened or not. It says 12.9. I know metric 10.9 is like grade 8 bolts, but anyways, I got 10 of those rascals. So now my intake manifold can be bolted down. Yeah, so I did that, rethreaded the engine mount nuts, made our cross member, and that actually took most of the time this evening. There was a couple little breaks, and my neighbor stopped in for a minute and looked over the car, and we, chewed the fat, as they say. But I guess I'm pretty satisfied. I wanted to get more done today. My, those coilovers came in, so my idea was to get the engine in, get the engine and trans in, get the coilovers on, get the brakes on. I can still keep going, but I am tired. There's a few little things I can do, but we are starting to round probably between second and third base. I don't use sports analogies very well because I'm not a sports person. I married the sports person, and there's been lots of jokes made over the years about me not knowing much about sports. So I don't use sports terminology. I use car terminology. I use what I know. Stick with what you know. But if I had to say, I would think that we are better than halfway because the fuel pump is in, wired up, and plumbed. We have new fuel lines. The brake lines on the front are fine. I haven't got my hydro handbrake yet. I'm still waiting on that. So that'll be the rear lines that I run. I do have to install the rotors, calipers, and new stainless brake lines here soon. But I'm kind of waiting to do that until the rear is together and done. But I guess I need to go ahead and get the rear in there so that I can measure for a drive shaft and send off and have that taken care of. So obviously that'll be a big piece of the puzzle is the drive shaft, because that literally connects the transmission and the differential. That connects the power maker to the power delivery. Did you like how I put that power maker to power delivery. So yeah, so that'll get the car moving. Still waiting on the shift fork thing. I've got the shifter relocation kit from LOJ, but I don't have that little U-joint thing yet. So, and I may or may not use the whole assembly. I hated to have to spend $75 on a U-joint. So I may as well put the whole piece in there if it comes apart okay. If it's gonna be like I'm gonna break stuff just trying to change this thing out, I'll just put the U-joint in and just call it a day. Um, but I'm excited. This is fun. This is definitely a Franken-7 hodgepodge crazy car, but it's going to be a lot of fun once it's done. My brother is just got his Corvette back a few days ago, and I wish so bad that this car was done and I was down there and we could enjoy our cars together. But I think we are planning to meet up at LS Fest this year in Kentucky in it's either August or September, I forget. So that'll probably be the first like long road trip, which it's roughly about 6 hours from here. So it's not too bad, and this isn't crazy enough to where you couldn't take it on the interstate. Well, I mean, no, it should be fine. I mean, there's no cruise, no AC, no radio, no wipers. I mean, it's basically a race car with turn signals, but if I can get the turn signals to work, I hope they still work. But anyways, I'm excited about this car, and I appreciate each and every one of you 2021 subscribers. I saw the views went up today, so that's exciting. I appreciate you guys watching, and don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, because this is probably not going to be one of those things that's ever done. I don't know of any real true project that's actually ever done, period. Move on to the next thing. Like for instance, once it gets running and driving, it's going to look like this for a little bit. I mean, really, it would make the most sense to, while everything is out, to paint it. But, the engine bay's been painted. I just have to touch it up a little bit from scratching it from the headers and stuff. But, yeah, the fenders, the doors, all that good stuff, I would like to paint it, but we'll see. I might. I don't know. I kind of want to do some aero. The gentleman that I got the Turbo 2 diff from has an offer for me for some Turbo 2 side skirts and a Volvo lip that would really do well with my trying to look error correct. But for not much more, I can have a GP sports style front and side skirts, or a Duluck, or some like drifter looking kits. But then if you get too big of a kit, too aggressive, it's going to look goofy in my opinion with the kind of the narrow body. And I don't really know if these can pull off those fender flares or not. I've seen a few pictures online, but like unless you get the actual replacement fenders that are wider, I like those ZG style like 240Z Datsun 510 type old school fender flares, but I don't think it would work on this car, unfortunately. I wish it could. If it was a first gen, sure. But I don't think it'll work on this car, so if I do fenders and stuff later, then, I'll do a kit and fenders. But I guess for now it'll be fine, just stock body, just, low, look good. May or may not pick up those side skirts from Izzy, we'll see. I would like to. I just wish they were a little bit cheaper, and it's like 2 hours to get up to his house. But we'll see. He's a good dude, and I appreciate him working with me on that Turbo 2 diff, and sure he would probably do the same thing for the side skirts and stuff. So we'll see. But anyways, tomorrow's plan will definitely be to go ahead and get the brakes on, at least on the front. Probably get the coilovers in place, and get the engine and transmission back in now that everything is together. Bolt the intake manifold down. Maybe my other fuel fittings will come and I can actually hook up the fuel line to the intake manifold, and maybe go get a belt, just kind of see where that goes. So we still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I still have like 5.5 days to see how far I can get on this build. So I'm going to try to really hammer down. I'm going to write everything out I need to on my board up there, and I'm going to cross it out as I go, because I've been trying to cross out other things as I go as far as like overall big project stuff. But now I can start kind of fine-tuning it and figure out what's left. So I'm going to do that as soon as I'm done with this video. You guys take care. I will see you tomorrow.